Hey everyone, this is Dr. Gwen, and I would like to welcome you back to our final session of Moms from Striving to Thriving, the training you wish you had years ago. Today we are going to be talking about opening the parental vault. And how do you do that? Now, before we get started on that topic, and I'm really excited about this evening, this is part four, the final part, where we tie it all together. And we have a big reveal that I'm really excited about, that I know you two will be completely excited about as well. Tying it all together, let's look at the objectives that we have. First, I'm going to be reviewing with you what we covered over the last 3 days. Next, I will be providing you additional resources that's going to guide you on your parental journey. And I will provide tips that will help you in your life and in your home, lighten your stress, and just bringing everything all together here at once. So let's review what we discussed. In the first video, we talked about the parental styles. Are you harming your kids by the styles of parenting that you use? And we talked about the four parental styles: the authoritarian, that bossy parent, the neglectful parent who's absent and never available for the kid, the indulgent parent who's buddies with the kids and the kids run the show, and the authoritarian parent, which is that parent that guides and counsels and allows the kids to have a voice, respectfully, of course, and those kids grow up to be responsible, generally well-rounded kids. We also know that nothing at all, no training, religion, nothing can guarantee that your kids will be 100%. And in fact, none of us are 100%. But I think you get the gist of what I'm saying, that nothing will really guarantee that our kids will be successful. And though we have the information, we utilize it knowing that it will impact and move the kids along in the direction that they need to go, judging from the research that we have reviewed. So those parenting styles are really important to impacting the choices that your kids make and how they show up. And so in talking about the second objective, what kids need to cooperate, we covered the 4 C's: the choices, the contribution, the community, and the capability. The kids want to feel that they are a part of you, whatever they're bringing to the relationship matters, that they are included in everything, that they are capable of doing whatever the tasks are, and that they have choices. And you can give them that at different levels. But also, the misbehaving kids have goals why they misbehave, and often they're tied to those parental styles, and they're also tied to the 4 C's that are missing. Knowing the goal of the misbehavior will really help you to nip the behavior in the bud much more effectively than if you didn't have it. And there's one tip that will definitely help you to relieve your stress at home. Mom, you want the best for your kids. You are amazing. You love your kids. You want to see them succeed. You want to see them grow up making very influential contributions in their communities, and you want to see them respected and successful, because that's what mothers do. And because of that, you are looking at ways that you can outreach to your kids, not just providing for them physiologically or educationally, but also socially and spiritually and psychologically. And the psychological provisions, I believe, are the most powerful ones, because kids will rise up to be who they believe themselves to be. So if you can influence your kids' thoughts and the way they operate, the way they think, then you can pretty much overcome the physical limitations, if not all. And you can also override the levels of success that they neglect to have. In other words, you can cause them to have greater success if their thought patterns are in the right place. And so you do those things because you are a mom. Now, today I have the big reveal, and I'm extremely excited, as I said, but we'll get to that. But what I want to know is, have you received any value from the information that I shared with you? Think about this. All of these ideas and all of these research that you have gotten a hold of, the regular average mom today are completely oblivious to. And so they continue to make the same mistakes over and over with no clue even that they're making those mistakes and how to correct them. Now, this is not to say that you're going to step out in perfection the first day, but what you do now have is a bag of ideas, a bag of research, a bag of resources that you can pull on. So now you can check yourself every time you say something or do something in your home, and you have the opportunity to know what it is that you should be doing. Now, wouldn't it be really fantastic if you had an opportunity to access some of these resources on a regular daily basis, that you would be able to help yourself as you help your kids develop into stronger, more positive human beings? You see, moms, you as a mom, whatever you do every day will impact your children's lives, and they will much more quickly follow what you do rather than what you say, because words are just words in this scenario. And you also have to focus on your personal growth and your personal development so that you can provide that impact in the lives of your kids, so that they can have the opportunity to see a role model of what it looks like to live a positive, healthy life. If you're stressed out and you're continuously yelling at your kids and you are in a bad, sour mood every day, that is not a great role model. And yet sometimes you're irritable because you're tired and you're worn out. How would you like to lay your hands on tips that will help you to overcome those limitations if you were to act on them every single day? I think that would be a fantastic opportunity. And would having easy access to the tips help you out at home, do you think? Imagine for a moment what your life would be and could be like if you were able to jump to a vault and pull out a resource that would encourage you every day, that just not only encourages you, but guides you on what it is that you can do either in your home or either at work or either in your relationships that you're building, in business, whatever areas of your life. Because make no mistake about it, we're complete whole human beings. And because we are complete, whatever we do in one aspect of our lives, it's not compartmentalized to just that part of our life. It impacts everything all the way around. So when we are developing ourselves to be the best human being that we know to be, the thing to do is to focus on us and to focus on our actions so we can now influence our children's lives. I can tell you this, having been a classroom teacher, a school leader, a district executive leader, a university professor, I've had a lot of experiences interacting with parents and their children. And I see how they come. Some of the parents are so desperate, wanting their kids to make the right choices, and those kids don't. And the parents have no clue necessarily what may be impacting the child's behavior and choices. And watching this video training and knowing some of the clues to look for is important. What I want to do next is to introduce to you the book Single Moms from Striving to Thriving 101 Success Tips. The print copy is just $9.99 and the digital copy is $7.99. Now I tell you this, you spend much more than this per day on things that don't transform your children's lives. I know holiday seasons come and go and they are approaching, whether they're weeks away or months away. Those holiday seasons come up. Consider getting one of this for yourself and one of this for another single mom who may be needing the resources to strengthen herself in her home relationship. And I know it says moms, but I've had dads reading this book as well. And they have reported wonderful things back to me from reading this. So don't feel inhibited to get just one copy. In fact, because it's so inexpensive, you can get multiple copies of this book and share it for the holiday, for Mother's Day, for whatever holiday that is coming up soon, so that your person can be armed with resources. When you really think about it, money replenishes. And every week or every 2 weeks you may get a paycheck. And the great thing about it is that when you get that paycheck, you go out, you pay your bills, you buy your groceries, you have your disposable income, you spend that, and then the money disappears. You may spend it on movies or something that entertains you, which is important to be entertained, but not something necessarily that gives you a lifelong gift. Then what happens 2 weeks later? You go out and you get paid again, and the money comes back. Now, the cool thing about that is that the money seems to replenish. And at this price, it's not something you have to think about. Many of you go out, you get a Starbucks coffee, and you buy snacks every morning. You put that money into the Starbucks coffer, you consume the coffee, and then the next morning you do the same thing again with no marked difference in your life. Now, I'm not saying you got to put your Starbucks coffee away, but if you have to do that for 1 or 2 days, then do that and get this gift, because it is a gift for your children. I have seen some of those kids come to school in desperate straits. They misbehave, they don't learn, they follow with the wrong crowd, and they get themselves in trouble. Wouldn't you like to make a difference with that? And if you only got the one piece of tip that I gave you earlier, wouldn't it be still worth it? There are 101 tips in this book that will help you to overcome those challenges as a mom. And I want you to break that old habit. So you've probably been on some of these trainings before, and you may have gotten excited about stuff. And those stuff may have cost thousands of dollars. This book is a small resource. It has 101 tips. What I have put in the front of the book is the research study on parenting styles, and I put it in a very nice chart for you to be able to look across and make the comparison with the results. And you may be saying at this point in your home life that, hey, you know what? It's been so many years I've been doing this way, and I don't want to have to figure out how I'm going to make this transition. Well, don't worry. I have a suggested transition conversation in the book that you can have with your kids, whether old or young. And that conversation is based on my transformational work, having worked with people to help them to overcome hurdles and to overcome challenges in relation to the people in their lives. That conversation is also a conversation that I have used in my own personal relationships to transform the relationships, at least the beginning parts of it, to create a different view. So that is also in the book. And then the 101 tips are divided into 7 or so categories that is categorized so that you can jump to it. So you can find the parts that are relating to your home and child rearing. You can find the parts that are relating to romance and love life. You can find the parts that are related to work and business, the parts that are related to your own well-being, and those tips are now subdivided for you. So if you are looking for a tip on romance, for example, you jump to that part and you find a tip that works for you and let that tip sit with you for that day on how to facilitate it. So now I'm going to invite you to go over to the link and to order your copies. Do it now while it's on your mind. This way you don't have to think about it. If you want to get the digital copy, you go to thedrgwen.com/thethrivingmoms. And this will lead you to the Amazon page where you can order the book. The paperback copy, as of this point, is about to be released, and you can go to thedrgwen.com/thethrivingmoms-print. I'll repeat those again for you so you can write that down. thedrgwen.com/thethrivingmoms. That's for your digital copy, that's $7.99. And for your paperback copy, which is $9.99, you go to thedrgwen.com/thethrivingmoms-print. Order a few copies, tell your church brothers and sisters, your synagogue folks, help everybody get this in their homes so that they can see what the research presents to be that important element that they need to put in their homes. Those tips are based on the authoritative parent style. So if you put those tips in place, you will automatically begin to create that attitude for yourself of the authoritative parenting style, which the research shows transforms kids' behaviors in a general sense to being productive, responsible, assertive kids. So I want to thank you so incredibly much for joining me. I'm going to leave this up here for a while so that you can write it down. And I'll repeat it. Go there now and order your copy. thedrgwen.com/thethrivingmoms. Paperback copy is thedrgwen.com/thethrivingmoms/print. Thank you for joining me.